Game 2 of our Friday night double dip comes from Long Island, where the time is now for Hofstra. The Pride still chasing a spot in the CAA tournament as towards-on nominee Ryan Tierney tries to get him there. On the other side, Fairfield, the Stags looking to finish 2021 in style with a road win in our CAA Game of the Week regular season finale. Thanks to Delaware's win over UMass earlier tonight, this is what the CAA standings look like. UMass now dropping to 4-4. The Pride a chance to join them there. Towson plays Drexel tomorrow with a chance to get to 4-4. Just the top 4 teams will go to the CAA semifinals next Thursday. So plenty to play for as we welcome you back in here alongside Brendan McDaniels. Now I'm Travis Eldridge. Hofstra, Brendan, has lost 3 in a row, but everything's in front of them. They win tonight. They give themselves a chance to get to the CAA tournament.
Absolutely. They've got to take care of business on the field tonight. If they want to get into the CAA tournament, win tonight, let things work out tomorrow. And Travis, as you know, with this year with COVID, it's been a crazy season. You just need to get into your tournament and anything can happen. And this Hofstra team has the firepower to win the CAA, but they got to win tonight to get in.
On the Fairfield side of things, they're just looking to close this season with a victory. They have yet to win in conference play. Trying to get one here for Dylan Beckwith, who has meant so much to this program.
He absolutely has. He's been a model of consistency throughout his career there, through all the ups and downs, the coaching change. He leaves it all on the field. You see, he leads his team with 47 points this season, but he dished out 6 assists to become the CAA's all-time leader as part of an 8-point effort last weekend. And he is a young man who can dish it out. He can score. They need him to come up with a big night because Fairfield is looking for their first win of the season.
On the Hofstra side, it all starts with Ryan Tierney. He's been relatively quiet the last couple of weeks. They need him to get going if they want to close the regular season with a win.
Absolutely do. And he's got a little pep in his step. He got drafted by the Whip Snakes earlier this week, going to play the PLL this summer, but he has got 159 career goals. He's 4 away from breaking the CAA record for career goals. He already owns the goals and points record for Hofstra. He wants to take the conference too, and he needs to have a big game tonight if Hofstra wants to go to the tournament.
One of the bright spots so far in a somewhat disappointing season for Fairfield has been the freshman goalie Colin Consoli. Comes in 2-8, but he's top 10 in the country in saves per game with 13.5 so far. He gets the start once again in net. On the other end, it's Bobby Casey, one of the leaders on this team, a redshirt senior out of Wantagh, New York, a 10.9 goals against average. Started this season with an injury, but since he's come back, he has solidified his spot as the starter in cage for the Pride. Ready to play on a windy Friday night with some rain starting to come down on Long Island. A scrum at the face-off X is won by Fairfield, and they'll get the first possession. Dean Ford picking it up.
As I said, this is going to be an interesting matchup at the face-off X because you've got 2 guys who are top percentage-wise in the CAA, but don't hesitate to remember that Dylan Smith, coming back from an injury, he's going to play a factor there at the face-off X for Fairfield. And if they can maximize possessions on the face-off, they've got a good chance to pick up their first win of the season.
Taylor Stroud, part of the starting midfield unit, along with Kyle Borda and Trent Moran. That's the starting midfield unit for Fairfield. This is Borda. Takes his man back to X. Borda, the shot to score. The Stags strike first. It's 1-0.
And that is huge for Fairfield in terms of confidence-wise. Kyle Borda took it himself. Absolutely fabulous job. They won the face-off, got the possession. Let's take a look at this again. He comes from behind X. He's got the shorty matchup. He gets inside position right there, gets his hands free, and gets Fairfield on the board.
Just the second goal of the season for Borda, whose older brother was a 3-year starting defenseman for Fairfield. As you can see, the rain. This is Frankie Labetti against the veteran Brian Herber. A couple of veteran face-off guys going at it. This time, violation will give it to the Pride.
Yeah, that's something we're going to keep an eye on because when we talked to Coach Baxter earlier this week, Dylan Smith is going to play, and he's going to take the hot hand at the face-off X for Fairfield. So they're going to switch on and off in this first quarter. Then we're going to see how it plays out for the last 3.
Bryce Tolmie in that starting midfield unit for Hofstra. Something to keep an eye on in the starting attack is they've moved Dylan Mcintosh back into the starting attack role for the Pride. slides in there to join Ryan Tierney and Justin Linsky. This is Linsky dodging near side. Now sends it back behind. Riley Forte, his shot is wide.
He looked like he got his stick lifted at the last minute right there and to make the shot off the mark. But this is where Hofstra's so dangerous, and then they get this 6-on-6 offense. This is going to be very tough for Fairfield to defend.
Tomey, now over to Philbin. Little hitch and a score. The Pride answer. Ties it up at 1.
That's what we talked about. When you get to that 6-on-6 set, they're just so fast and so smooth on offense. And James Philbin right there just takes one step, gets himself an opening, and he pops that one in for a goal. We'll take a look at that again. See Tomey over to Philbin. You see, just gets that little bit of a seam right there in the slot and puts it home and ties it up at 1.
Philbin, a guy who a couple of weeks ago had a career best 4 goals in that heartbreaking, crazy game against Delaware where Hofstra lost in overtime. Then scored 2 goals against Drexel last Saturday. Now 7 goals in his last 3 games. Labetti and Herber battling again. Herber wins it, but he can't pick up the ground ball, and it comes into George Elmquist's stick. Look out. Ryan Tierney nearly took it back.
Yeah, it was so close because he knows that Fairfield wants to run. They want to push the tempo tonight. And if Tierney and the attack can slow down this transition of Fairfield and make them get into 6-on-6, this plays into Hofstra's hands. Hofstra does not want Fairfield to get out and run and gun. They want him to slow down and play the midfield 6-on-6 sets.
Tierney is actually caught on defense here. That's Ryan Tierney matched up. Number 13 in the white Hofstra jersey. He's now in the middle of the defense. He's playing like free safety.
I was just going to say, he's not really playing anybody right now, so he's just kind of out there helping out, but this might not come back to bite him, though.
They've got too many men on the field here. This is going to be a man up unless Fairfield does that. Trent Moran.
No, one of the officials was just waving it off. Let's check this. It should be a goal by Moran, but that backside official waves it off, and you're right. There are 7 guys out there. Tierney got caught in no man's land.
Moran.
But the shot for inside, Moran gets the goal. So that will be a good goal. So they're going to wave off the delayed penalty on that.
So Fairfield scores 6-on-7. They just wanted to make it harder on themselves.
Well, you know, that looks good on film for next year. So Coach Baxter's going to say, listen, you guys can score 6-on-7. You shouldn't have a problem scoring 6-on-6.
Ball goes out of bounds. We're going to look at the officials are going to talk things over to see who touched it last. They say Hofstra did. So Dylan Beckwith and Fairfield will get the possession again, now with a 1-goal lead once again. 2 for 2 in terms of possession and goals for the Stags. Keep an eye on this guy, number 5 for Fairfield, Matt Lastaba. The Division III transfer was a terrific scorer for Bates throughout a 4-year career. Ryan Lancaster loses it, and it's scooped up by Keegan Santos.
Yeah, that was an excellent rip right there by number 76, Logan Denzina. He did a great job there dislodging that ball because Fairfield has controlled possession so far in the early going in this game.
3 more seconds to get it over for Santos. He does, all by himself. A 1-man clears. He gets it to Corey Kale. And now they'll get the offensive personnel on the field. Keep an eye on Ryan Tierney's matchup with Tyler Burns, the grad student. The transfer from St. Lawrence has drawn the assignment for Tierney so far in the first couple of possessions. Right in the middle of your screen there, now toward the top, Tierney is just blanketed.
Yeah, this is a good move by Fairfield. Face guard Tierney, make somebody else beat you.
Now Tierney gets possession. Tierney now with the right hand, his shot saved by Consoli.
It's a nice save by Consoli. He sealed off that near side and did not allow any room for Tierney to try to operate and try to sneak one by him.
Justin Linsky on the restart. Consoli stops it up high.
Two nice saves by Consoli on this possession right here. This might get him off to a good start.
Colin Consoli, what a year he has had. He came into his freshman year probably not expecting to be the starter, but a season-ending injury to James Corsiniti, who was slotted to be the starter at the beginning of the year, meant that it was Consoli who got the start in the season opener against Providence back on March 3rd, and he's been the guy ever since, and he has been a very, very pleasant surprise for Coach Andrew Baxter and company, a guy who you would assume will be the all-rookie team goalie here in the CAA.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt about it that he's going to be the all-rookie goalie. And, I mean, that's just gravy for Coach Baxter to get him all this reps this season. And he's got 3 more years left with him. It's going to be really, really good situation for Fairfield, especially as him being the backstop for the next 3 years as they try to rebuild this program.
And remember, Corsiniti will come back, so there may be a difficult decision for Baxter to make as that pass is sent high. Maybe a difficult decision to make for Baxter in the years to come on who's going to be my guy. It's always better to have 2 guys, I think, that you think can start than to have none.
That is always a good problem. Every coach will tell you they would rather have to agonize over which guy to play and which one to sit, as opposed to not having any guys that they can play. It's a good situation for Coach Baxter to be in, especially we talked about. He's building this program. I mean, he had the 1 year last year where they had the shortened season. It's been a COVID year. I mean, Coach Baxter hasn't had a normal time with this Fairfield program yet.
Great takeaway check there by Burns to take it away from Tierney. Stroud can't win the ground ball battle. Here comes Linsky and company, flanked by Mcintosh. And they'll settle things down with Ryan Tierney on this near wing. Tyler Burns, who's guarding Tierney, a terrific athlete, was actually also a football player at St. Lawrence, the Division III level throughout his collegiate career. Here's Tierney, stripped.
Great job by Fairfield. They just closed the door on Tierney when he tried to get inside. They ended up quadruple teaming him to make sure that Tierney wasn't going to get a shot off.
And that has been the case, especially down the stretch here in the CAA. It's been the recipe to try to beat Hofstra is just throw the kitchen sink at Ryan Tierney. Don't let him beat you. Here's Dylan Beckwith. Speaking of a guy who's had the kitchen sink thrown at him, it's been kind of the scouting report against this Fairfield team for the last several years with Beckwith in the lineup. Shot and a save there by Bobby Casey going for the quick outlet.
Yeah, Shane Osborne with the shot. He had a good look at the cage, but a nice save by Casey and sent it to the other end. And Fairfield's come out and been aggressive in this first 7.5 minutes of the first quarter so far.
Ryan Sheridan just took his eyes off of that one. Ground ball is won by Sterling Ardrey. Part of the second midfield for Hofstra, coming off a terrific game last week. A career best, or excuse me, a season best 3 goals against Drexel. It's one of the bright spots for the Pride in that loss, 12-8 on the road. And notice that Fairfield took notice of Ardrey's game a week ago. He draws the long pole here in this midfield unit.
Yeah, they watched a lot of tape this week on Hofstra, and they really are trying to correct a lot of the errors that they made in that first game against Hofstra.
Linsky shot. Somebody got a stick in there kind of to deflect it. Backed up by the Pride. They'll keep. That first meeting was a 15-7 victory for the Pride in Fairfield. Ryan Tierney going for 5 goals and an assist. Sheridan bounces it wide.
And that was a game really where Hofstra controlled the tempo from start to finish. Fairfield couldn't get into a rhythm, and Hofstra was the aggressor in that game, and they just came in and took him out really quickly.
A shot clock violation on Hofstra. Good defensive set there for Fairfield.
Yeah, they did the old MLL. We're running out of time, so we're just going to dump this in the corner and make them go all the way back upfield.
Chance to set up the ride as well. It's a pretty spin move by Lucas Peterson. But do we have offsides?
Yeah, it looked like there was an offside call, so it goes back to Hofstra. But Fairfield's been getting some opportunities here, a couple unforced errors in this early going. They're giving Hofstra another opportunity. But like I said, Fairfield has come out. They've played a different game. They've come out and been the aggressor, and they're really putting some pressure on those attackers for Hofstra so far.
And if you haven't seen much of this Stags team this year, something to keep in mind, this is a Fairfield team that played with Delaware twice. As there's one that goes. Forte somehow found the corner, got it past Consoli. Ties it up at 2.
Yeah, he just really kind of just snuck that one in there. Take a look at this again. You see that little stutter step, and he gets some space on the short stick. The slide comes late over, and he's got a lane to shoot, and he pops that one home. That's a great job by Forte. He takes the hit at the end, but if you saw that little stutter step about 40 yards from the goal, and it just got that shorty just to stumble a little bit, and it gave him that opening to get the shot off.
Going early was Frankie Labetti. That's the second violation on Fairfield so far. Next one means a 30-second penalty on the Stags. For now, it just means a possession for Hofstra. But back to what I was saying about Fairfield. They hung with Delaware twice. They've hung with a number of different teams throughout this regular season. They just haven't put a full 60 minutes of what Andrew Baxter is looking for with his tempo and the style of play that this new coaching staff is hoping for. That are hoping,
yeah, it's going to be some.
As Ryan Tierney's shot is stopped.
Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, there's going to be some growing pains, and I mean, they played Providence tough. They beat Lafayette. They hung with UMass. I mean, this is a team that wasn't far off this year. I mean, just some bad bounces in conference play, and they haven't won a game yet. But, I mean, they're pretty stinking close.
Yeah, they had a fourth quarter lead against Towson before the Tigers escaped with a 12-11 win. So they have proven that they can hang with anybody in the conference. As Taylor Stroud comes full head of steam, shot sent wide. It's a good
that game was at Towson too. I mean, Towson's a tough place to play. You go to United Stadium and you almost pull out a victory. That's pretty impressive.
Travis Ford was just off there on the centering pass. Beckwith working against Santos. Beckwith, shot goes. Did it squeeze in? No, the officials say no.
No, that looked like it went to the outside.
Beckwith is arguing his case. He's got a better angle than I do. So I believe Beckwith is Mcintosh was looking toward the backside. Peterson with the ground ball. Here's the look. Oh, I think that went in.
That went in. That's
and then it definitely went in on the rebound. Fairfield has every right to be upset about that one.
Wow.
Timeout, Fairfield.
Stags are going to take a timeout. We'll take one as well. 4:05 to go. We're tied up at 2 here in the opening quarter. Game 2 of our CAA Game of the Week double dip. 2-2 game here with 4:05 to go in the opening quarter between Fairfield and Hofstra. The Stags may have just gotten robbed on a possible goal. Dylan Beckwith looked like this one bounced in the inside of the cage. And watch this. Tim Haggerty actually moved it over the line there at the end. The official was running in, trying to see it. Beckwith is upset, as you can expect. Why? He's the best angle maybe of anybody. And
yeah, and Borda was there too, and Borda's trying to plead his case on the other side. I mean, it actually went in 2 different times.
But
that's what Morant's talking about too.
Yeah, it's ruled no goal, and there's no replay in the regular season in NCAA lacrosse, so they can't go to the video and take a look at it, which is the luxury that we have. So it stays a 2-2 game, though the Stags do have possession here.
Yeah, it's interesting to see how they react here. Do they go and do they continue to attack, or do they kind of sulk because they lost one out on that? So you have an opportunity against a shorty behind X.
Moran already with a goal today. Flips for Beckwith. Skip pass back out top. Somehow found its way through. Ford backhanded. That would have been something special.
Yeah, that was a really tough shot for him to try to make, but he was determined to try to put that one on goal. And you saw they were trying to get Beckwith. They were trying to get the switch, so Beckwith got the shorty, but Hofstra smartly did not switch on that.
Beckwith once again working against Mcintosh. Looking for that pass across. Borda was open. As Taylor Stroud picks up the ground ball. Now Borda. He's got a goal in this first quarter. Gets the right hand free. That shot way off and no backup. So it'll go back to Hofstra.
Yeah, didn't have a good hip placement on that one. He was kind of turned himself a little bit too wide, and that's why it went over that way. But some opportunities for Fairfield, they're not able to cash in. And remember, they got that goal disallowed. Well, that was essentially not called a goal, so it really should be 3-2 Fairfield here.
Logan Denenza brings it across, but has it stripped. And the ground ball ends up in the stick of Dominic Pryor. And he'll settle things down for the Hofstra offense. If you're just joining us, the Pride looking to get to 4-4 in CAA play. That would pull them into a tie with UMass. There's one more game to go in the CAA regular season. That's tomorrow, Drexel and Towson. The Tigers also a chance to get to 4-4. If that's the case, then we would have a three-way tie where only two of the teams would make the CAA tournament. Hofstra just hoping to make that be an opportunity. They got to win tonight first. This is Tolmie on the run, sent wide.
Yeah, Tolmie just a little bit wide. We talked about this at the beginning. I mean, you've got to take care of business first if you're Hofstra, and then you need some help from Drexel tomorrow afternoon.
Justin Linsky. Near side, Philbin. Tolmie took his eye off of it, and Fairfield a chance to go the other way.
This is what Fairfield wants to do. They want to get out and run and push tempo.
Burns has it taken away. Nice job by Tolmie. Got back on defense and got the ball back.
Yeah, loses the ball and then gets the ball back for his team. Nice job. Way to stay with the play. Because a lot of times those guys will come off the field and wait for the D-mids to get on, but he fouled that play and made sure he got it back.
He decided he wasn't going to go ahead to the sideline before he got the ball back. Now he's okay. Now he can go back there and the coaching staff won't be quite as mad at him.
Exactly. He's like, listen, coach, I get it, but I got it back.
Here's Sam Lutfey running out of the midfield. Played some attack last year in the shortened season.
Got a good matchup here behind X.
Lutfey. Now Tierney. Trying to get that hand free. Left hand, and the bounce shot is wide of the cage, and a crease violation on Ryan Tierney.
Yeah, good job defensively by Fairfield. You saw the slide came over, and they doubled Tierney at the end. Every time Tierney gets the ball, they're making it very difficult for him to try to get a shot off.
Under a minute to go in this opening quarter. We are locked at 2. Fairfield can hold for 1 as there's only 30 seconds to go, 50 seconds in the shot clock. Listava with the short stick matchup. Massachusetts native. Kicks it out. Step down shot to score. Travis Ford from distance.
Travis Ford had 4 goals last week in their game. Follows it up with 1 right here to put Fairfield ahead with 15 seconds left. Let's see, coming back out from Max, and Ford is set up and ready to go. Look at all that space he has. He's able to crank it from the right side and put Fairfield ahead. Take a look at it one more time. Good dodge upfield. Great shot right there.
Ford's 10th goal of the season, the grad student out of Webster, New York. Gives the Stags the 3-2 lead, and they get the ball back here. 10 seconds to go. If they can go quick, Ford, shot stopped by Casey. He sends it to the other end. And that will do it for our opening 15 minutes. Fairfield came to play tonight on Long Island, folks. The Stags looking for their first CAA win of the year in the regular season finale and off to a good start. James Philbin's got one, but Fairfield's got three. And they got a one-goal edge after one on LSN. Ryan Tierney and Hofstra trailing by one after one here on LSN. Tierney coming into today, one of the top scorers in the country, averaging nearly 4 goals per game. Third, picked by the Whipsnakes in the second round of the PLL draft earlier today, but a face-off win by earlier this week, a save by Casey.
Yeah, that one almost trickled in too, and that was a nice job by Labetti to get right in there and just go and try to take that because nobody came up on him.
Riley Forte passes off the bar by Tierney. Nearly had his first of the day, but instead Fairfield keeps it out. Got a little help from the post.
It's an aggressive ride here by Hofstra, and you see the turnover. Great job by the Pride, just really staying up there and pressuring Fairfield, not letting him clear it easily.
Travis Eldridge, Brendan McDaniels back with you to start the second quarter here on LSN. Tierney picked by the Whipsnakes in the PLL draft back on Monday, 16th overall. Well-deserved recognition for a guy who we've gotten to see week in, week out here on LSN, as he's been one of the best players in conference history. Here, a pass across and a goal for Tolmie. We're tied at 3.
And the assist by Tierney on that one, a great pass by Ryan Tierney to tie it up at 3. Take a look at this again. Here's Tierney. Fights through, they do the switch, he gets the short stick, and then reverses field, wide open. Tolmie has a nice position there on the wing to take that shot. Everybody's following Tierney to the left. He flips it back to the right, and Tolmie's there to put it home.
And that's been the adjustment that Hofstra's had to make over the last several weeks since they've lost Alex Kincannon. Kincannon has played limited action the last couple of weeks as he continues to battle injuries. As Brian Herbert wins a face-off, and his pass is low for Mcintosh and go out of bounds. So the question has become for the Pride, who else offensively, if people are taking away Ryan Tierney, who else can step up and put pressure on an offense? And that continues to be the problem. They've been trying to solve it, and in different days, it's been different guys, but they haven't found the surefire solution yet.
Yeah, that's really kind of where they've struggled in this 3-game losing streak is you kind of have your top guys, but you need those 3, 4, and 5, 6 scorers to come and really step up and give you guys multiple goals per game, and they just haven't had that on a consistent basis. It hasn't been the same guys over and over.
Stags with the first possession of the second quarter. This is Brian Rita, part of a whole host of midfielders that the Stags will use today, really mixing and matching. Stroud on the run, sends it wide.
Nice offensive set so far for Fairfield. They've been very patient, waiting for the Hofstra defense to give them an opening. You saw just a little bit of an opening there by Stroud. Took the shot, was off, but they maintained possession. This is
Moran, a rocket.
Yeah, they're looking at the same spots on that Hofstra defense to really try to take advantage.
Beckwith now has it, 16 left to shoot. Matched up against Santos, crease violation on Beckwith.
Santos did an absolutely fantastic job on Beckwith right there. Absolutely shut the door, did not allow him to get his hands free, really handcuffed him, and Beckwith tried to force it in there, but didn't really get anything good on goal.
Now Santos in some trouble. Beckwith trying to take it back. And he gets whistled on the loose ball. Interesting pass into the middle. Intercepted by Stroud, and then he delivers a hit.
Yeah, Stroud's going to get a penalty for that one.
Stroud.
He made his presence felt, though.
Is a big guy, 5'10", 198. He delivered a hit in the middle of the field.
Yeah, you see the fight for it again. He doesn't get it, but lays the wood. Look at that. The NFL draft's going on tonight. Someone might want to pick him up in one of these later rounds.
Wow.
That was...
See what the penalty is called. And they're going to get him for full-time served. 1 minute unreleasable penalty on Stroud for the hit on Forte.
Yeah, but Stroud got his money's worth on that hit, though.
Man, that is one of the bigger hits I've seen in the college game this year.
Oh, absolutely. That was a quality one. Like, he made his presence felt on that. And Hofstra's a very good man-up unit here.
Yeah, 40% on the year. They got a 1 minute man up, unreleasable, so they can score multiple goals here. The penalty does not release on the goal. Lutfey has it top of the box, pass to Tierney. Now Linsky working for Max.
Great rotations down low by Hofstra. They're really making this Fairfield defense work.
Tierney now works toward the top of the box. Forte, stopped by Consoli. What a save
by Consoli.
Oh, they got Peterson after the shot, pushing down Tolmie. So it's a fresh 80 seconds, but what a stop by the freshman.
That is huge, right on the doorstep. Tolmie had an absolutely beautiful look, and Consoli shut him right down.
Linsky, another save. Lutfey, finally. Hofstra finally cashes in on the man up. Lutfey with his third of the year, but what about Colin Consoli on that possession?
Colin Consoli did everything he could to try to keep Fairfield in this one defensively. Great stop right there on the shoulder, but then the rebound goes 5-hole for Lofty.
Lutfey, the sophomore out of Massapequa, mentioned he had 10 points in 7 games last year as a freshman, came in and actually earned some starting minutes right away in his first year with the Pride. With Alex Kincannon and Justin Linsky transferring in this year, he's kind of had to find a new role for himself, but now finding some minutes here in the latter stages of this year. Frankie Labetti wins it forward again. Labetti, the senior out of Moorestown, New Jersey, has been one of the better face-off guys in Fairfield history. And
4 for 8 tonight.
Yeah, and actually...
Excuse me, 5 and 9 now.
And actually, it was a guy who was actually already using the standing neutral grip at times over the last couple of years. So the transition to the new rules not quite as big for him as Michael Altman makes a terrific play.
Yeah, did a great job right there. Got his stick out in the passing lane, was just able to tip it up, and was able to maintain possession for the Pride.
And Hofstra will take the timeout here, keep possession with 10:41 to go in the second quarter. Michael Altman is a tremendous LSM, and he shows you there. Picks up the caused turnover, came into today with 13. But we talk about Ryan Tierney, and he has meant so much to this Hofstra program. He's meant so much to the CAA in terms of he continues to climb the record books across the conference. And he also has a little piece of a lacrosse legend's heart. This is a picture on the right there of Kyle Harrison and Ryan Tierney. See him there in the K18 shirt there in the front. Kyle, of course, played at Hopkins when Seth Tierney was an assistant under head coach Dave Petramala. And in talking with Seth Tierney this week about Ryan and Kyle's relationship, he said, look, when Ryan was little and we were hanging around, Kyle was one of the guys that would stay long after practice and have a catch with my son, and that meant so much, and it means a lot to see Kyle continue to shout him out on social media. They obviously still talk from time to time, and really cool now that Kyle and Ryan are going to have a chance to play against each other in the PLL.
Yeah, it's almost like the big brother situation. And we talked to Seth Tierney about it. He's even said that when Johns Hopkins won the national championship, he said that Kyle Harrison picked up Ryan Tierney like he was the trophy, and they've got a picture of it. And he said Ryan's had that in his bedroom, and now the opportunity to play in the PLL together is just going to be a wonderful thing. But you're right. He said Kyle Harrison has been the biggest cheerleader for Ryan Tierney. He said every time there's something Ryan Tierney posts on social media, you can better believe that Kyle Harrison has already retweeted it out, because there is no bigger Ryan Tierney fan outside of mom and dad than Kyle Harrison.
Kyle Harrison, one of the really good people in this sport, and just another example why. So really cool to hear Seth talk about Kyle and Ryan's relationship. But coming off of this, out of this timeout, we've gotten a flag down.
Yeah, didn't see what the penalty was for.
It's an illegal cross on Bryce Tolmie. They got him for an illegal stick. So it's a 1 minute extra man for Fairfield. So Hofstra calls the timeout to stop things, and actually it comes back to haunt him because they check on Tolmie's stick. That's when you know things aren't going your way tonight.
Yeah, this is where Fairfield really needs to capitalize on this possession here.
First extra man of the day for the Stags. This is Stroud. Lastaba back up to Beckwith, skips it down on the doorstep, and the Stags cash in. It's Travis Ford with his second.
Very nice play by Fairfield. That was an important goal for them to tie it up at 4 apiece on an unexpected man-up situation. And it's a beautiful feed on the inside by Dylan Beckwith. It finds Ford on the doorstop, and you see the Hofstra defense kind of sleeping right there, leaving Travis Ford wide open in front of the cage. He's able to deliver it home for the Stags and tie it up back at 4.
Ford coming off a 4-goal game last week against UMass, as Lebetti wins another faceoff. He's had a lot of success here early. And the Stags get a possession, tied up now at 4 with under 10 minutes to go in the first half. By the way, still a man-up situation. That's an unreleasable penalty, blocked in front. Lastaba picks up the ground ball for Fairfield. Now the penalty's released. Jump shot goes. Fairfield can feel it. It's Trevor Ford, Travis's brother, who scores.
Let's keep it in the family. A residual man-up goal. The penalty was released, but the 6th defender didn't get on in enough time. Fairfield able to move it, and beautiful, just right in the teeth of the defense is Trevor Ford. Huge, huge goal for the Stags.
Trevor and Travis scoring the last 2 for Fairfield to give them the lead.
And the Beckwith got the assist on that one again. Great field vision by Beckwith on those last 2 goals for the Stags.
Beckwith.
And we got a penalty here. This is going to be another violation on Fairfield.
Beckwith, by the way, continues to move up the all-CAA list as he passes ties Curtis Dixon for 3rd all-time on the points list, now with 212. Ryan Tierney, of course, the all-time leader in points. We saw Charlie Kitchen earlier today. So, I mean, if we just want to get Curtis Dixon and Will Manny maybe on a Skype, and then we can have all 5 of the top guys on here tonight on LSN.
Might as well. Let's make it a party. And by the way, for Trevor Ford, that was his first goal of the season. It's his 5th shot, first goal. Here's another man up for Hofstra. They converted the last time they had a man up.
3rd face-off violation against Frankie Lebetti. And now each other face-off violation for the rest of the half will be a 30-second man up. Skipped out of the doorstep. Linsky has to retreat. Now Tierney, top of the box, little hitch, shot high.
Good defense, good slides by the Fairfield Stags on that one. They weren't allowing any openings in that defense.
And we are back to even strength.
And that's huge for Fairfield. They just came off of back-to-back goals and took a lead, and now they're able to kill off a penalty.
Dodge from the wing by Forte, back to Tierney. Pass a little high, took his eyes off of it as Lutfey goes back to get the ground ball. Still 25 seconds to shoot for Hofstra. Bilbin already with a goal today. Gets inside, feeds across, and Linsky, little alley-oop for the Pride, and he ties it up at 5.
Very patient offense by Hofstra. Bring it down the right side. Nice crease pass over to Linsky for the goal. Take a look at this again. You see back up, right side dodge. Beautiful cross the crease pass. Nobody over there on the other side. Linsky wide open on the back end. Just kind of slips behind the defense right there. You see it in the side of your screen. Goes up right over Consoli's shoulder. Excellent execution by the Pride.
Speedy Claxton was just named the head coach of the Hofstra men's basketball team. You may want to look at some of these guys. Alley-oop plays like that.
Speedy Claxton, one of the all-time greats. How about that? Replacing Joe Mahalik.
Yeah, cool opportunity for Claxton as that ball goes out of bounds off of Hofstra. By the way, that was Chase Patterson taking the draw for Hofstra. Save by Casey. Now a chance to run for Dalton Seas. Transition chance. Altman thought about it. Now to Kale. And the short stick D-Mitty will get into the offense now. Dylan Mcintosh, who's up on that top of your screen, 21 in white. Guy who's battled injuries throughout his career, but what a special talent he's been for Hofstra. It's just been too bad that he hasn't been able to play more, because we saw what he and Ryan Tierney could do together a couple of years ago, what kind of dynamic duo they had. He just hasn't been able to stay on the field healthy. And we got an interference call on Hofstra. We'll go back the other way.
Yeah, George Elmquist there just trying to get some trouble on that defensive side for Fairfield, and just disrupted the offense enough to make the turnover happen.
Dean Ford brings it across. Another Ford unrelated to Travis and Trevor. As Jake Coleman gets taken down, flag down. Good save along the near sideline. Doesn't go out of bounds, so the Stags keep the possession alive.
Yeah, it's still going. So we'll have the delayed penalty here, pending what happens right here.
Shane Osborne takes his man behind. Midfielder inverts. Lestaba gives it back. Low give and go. Shot deflected. But Beckwith able to keep it in. So the possession here continues on the delayed penalty. Osborne step down. The Stags take the lead back at 6-5.
Shane Osborne gets this, as you see Beckwith with the pass up top. Osborne wide open, as you've got to have all eyes on Beckwith when he has the ball. You see that every Hofstra defender was keeping their eye on Beckwith to see what they're doing, and Osborne was just lining up ready for the pass, and a nice catch and shoot by Shane Osborne.
Now 4 assists for Dylan Beckwith, as he's now alone in 3rd place in CAA history in points. Face off by Patterson, 1 forward. Answering is Hofstra, Linsky. It can happen that fast. Mcintosh hooking him up.
8 seconds after Fairfield scores, Linsky brings it right back and ties it up at 6. Right off the face-off, you see here, Chase Patterson, he's only taken 66 face-offs so far this year. Nice quick 1-2-3 pass. And Linsky down on the doorstep. The feed by Dylan Mcintosh. Beautifully executed off the face-off.
So Linsky scores back-to-back goals for the Pride. They answer the Fairfield goal, so we're back tied up at 6. As it's a violation on Hofstra. Fairfield gets possession back.
Yeah, Chase Patterson's taken the last 3 faceoffs for Hofstra. Not sure if Brian Herbert is injured or they're just trying to see if they can switch it up a little bit.
Well, what we've seen from Seth Tierney, what he shared with us earlier this year, was that at the faceoff X with Herbert, Herbert's earned his spot as the starting guy. But as soon as Herbert loses 3 in a row, then he gives Patterson a chance. And then it's win and you stay in. It's like the old basketball situation when you're playing pickup. You keep winning, you keep possession. Well, Chase Patterson won a couple, so he kept taking them. And now I would assume we may see another opportunity for Brian Herbert to come back and take a faceoff. Trying to ride the hot hand.
Yeah, well, you know, you talk about it. CAA tournament berth is on the line tonight. They've got to win to get in for Hofstra, so you've got to try whatever you can. And if Herbert's not doing it, you got to do something else.
Oh, Kyle Borda's doing it so far. He's got a pair today. Came into this game with only 1 goal. He's got 2 in this first half.
So we've had 3 goals in the last 62 seconds between these two teams. You see Borda, he's got the shorty. He comes out. That's a sharp angle that he took it from. He wound up at goal line extended. Did not have much room to maneuver there. One more look, and you see good position by Bobby Casey right there. He just got beat by Borda. That was just a great shot.
Borda is a imposing physical figure. 6'4", 205, the junior out of Kensington, Maryland. Faceoff originally won by Fairfield, but here comes Hofstra in transition. Mcintosh stopped by Consoli, shot it right into his chest.
Yeah, did not place his shot on that one. That was an easy save for Consoli.
You like fast lacrosse? We've got some frenetic lacrosse going on here on Long Island on a Friday night. This is fun.
Well, this is the tempo that Fairfield wants. This is how Fairfield wants to play. They want to move the ball up and down the field. They don't want to get into 6-on-6. They want to keep it moving at all times.
Stroud sends it wide. Thought it was interesting in talking to Andrew Baxter about the style he wants to implement. He said, look, it's not everybody just run, and shoot every time you catch it. As Beckwith cashes in. Fairfield's feeling it. Beckwith celebrates with the sideline. It's 8-6.
Fairfield scored 3 of the last 4 goals in this game, and they've taken an 8-6 lead. Dylan Beckwith here taking it all by himself. You see that the goal just as good as the celebration here. Take a look at Beckwith shooting that lefty.
You don't think Dylan Beckwith wants to go out with a victory here in his final collegiate game? Native of Long Island, having a chance to play his final game here on Long Island. He's got 5 points in this first half. Labetti wins the faceoff, hits the pipe.
Yeah, and I love how Fairfield's coming out here and they're being aggressive. They're attacking. We talked to Coach Baxter the other day. He said, listen, we get that we've literally got nothing to play for, but we do have something to play for. We got to play for pride. We want to play for, play for these seniors, get them a win. We don't want them to go out winless in CAA. He said, even though there's nothing for us to get out of this game, except for what you said, that pride of winning that game and not taking the goose egg this season.
Ryan Lancaster working from X. His shot stopped by Casey. Ground ball, though, won by Fairfield. Opportunity, Beckwith! Back-to-back for Dylan. A 3-goal Fairfield lead.
Fairfield now scored 4 of the last 5 goals in the last 2.5 minutes. Let's take a look at this one again. The shot comes out, the save by Casey. Rebound comes out. Ford gets it to Beckwith, and Beckwith wide open and takes it low for the goal.
What a first half for Dylan Beckwith. He's got 6 points, 2 goals, and 4 assists. Travis Ford picks up the helper as Herbert wins the faceoff forward, but Fairfield a chance to get a ground ball. Burns trying to win it. It's out of bounds. And the officials will keep it here with the Pride. Hofstra could use an offensive possession. It's been a little while since they've had a good one. Down by 3 now with 3:43 to go. Remember, Hofstra pretty much needs a win here to try to make the CAA tournament.
Well, and keep in mind the last goal that was scored by Hofstra was in transition off the faceoff, so they have not scored in a 6-on-6 set in the last 5.5 minutes.
3 straight for Fairfield. Tolmy gives it back to Tierney. Continues to battle with Tyler Burns. Burns has done a really good job on him so far. Strips it away. Here comes Fairfield in transition. Braden Lynch gets rid of it. Bounce shot is kicked away. Santos skies for it. Ground ball in front. Rebound is off the post. But it is Tyler Wuchta for Fairfield who ends up with it. The D-midi, across, Ford, step down, make it 4 in a row. The Stags are flying around.
This is the tempo that Fairfield wanted to play. They wanted to get up and down. They wanted to get Hofstra on their heels, and that's what they're doing. They're coming out, they're setting the tempo, controlling the pace of play, and they've got their foot squarely on the gas pedal right here. Ford, great deke right there, makes the defender commit, sidesteps, and puts that worm burner in for the goal. Check it out again. Look at Ford. He's like, give it. Swoop, right there. Goal. Beautiful. Great patience by Travis Ford.
Tell you what, if I'm Andrew Baxter and I'm trying to sell this program for Fairfield to an incoming recruit, I clip off like the last 4 minutes of gameplay and say, just watch this. You want to come play fast lacrosse? Come do this. I mean, this is fun.
Yeah, this is what Coach Baxter envisioned happening with this program. And as we said, they had a shortened season last year, which was his first season coming over from Yale. And then this year with the COVID year and going through COVID and the protocols and everything, they didn't have an off season. They didn't have fall ball. So, I mean, really, this is just an extension of his first season. And if this is what you got to look to come from, Fairfield's going to get a lot of recruits to come here because they're going to want to play this pace. And you take a look, there's a penalty on Ryan Tierney.
Yeah, Tierney was called for a slash. It's a 1-minute penalty, but the Pride get possession off of the faceoff. So they win a man-down faceoff. Brian Herbert does on a faceoff violation on Dylan Smith. So that is beneficial because the Pride can try to run off this minute penalty. Sorry, it's 5-on-5 because it's a faceoff violation penalty. We got penalties all over the field. Forte.
This makes the field more wide open.
Now we will go to 5-on-6 after 30 seconds. So now it's man down for Hofstra. So now you just want to try to kill off the penalty. You had 30 seconds to maybe try to get a shot, and now you just want to kill off the rest of this man down situation. Mcintosh back out to Forte. 10 seconds left on the man up for Fairfield, but they're not going to have an offensive possession at it.
No, Fairfield's playing this right. You don't need to double the ball. You're up by 4. Let them just sit there and hold the ball.
So we're back to even strength. Tolmy now 10 seconds. Sends it across. Oh, just missed. Mcintosh tried for the quick stick on the backside and found the side of the cage. Lancaster running downhill. His shot is wide.
This is how Fairfield wants to play. They want to go out there, pedal to the metal, move it up and down. We got a timeout here, but this is a tempo by Fairfield, and they are controlling this game right now.
Fairfield takes the timeout. We'll stay here with 1:10 to go in the half. And with Andrew Baxter, look, tonight they're playing fast. They're running and gunning, taking fast shots, but I think the interesting thing with talking to Baxter about the pace he wants to play is it's not always fast, but a lot of it is about making quick decisive decisions. So it's in transition. It's not trying to think 2 passes ahead. It's having one option to say, hey, when I come down this side, I want this guy. If this guy's not open, we'll back it out. If he is, let's go and let's get the opportunities rolling. Tonight, we're seeing them making those quick decisions, and the decisions have been the right ones.
Yeah, he doesn't want them out there playing with their like chickens with their heads cut off. He wants it controlled, but he wants the tempo moving. He wants the ball constantly hot, get them moving, and again, like you said, make quick decisions. He's a Rochester guy. He was born and raised right here in Rochester. Like, he's a smarter lacrosse guy than just about everybody else, because you know the upstate New York guys, Travis, we're just a little bit smarter than everybody else.
Always.
But, exactly. But, you know, he took, you know, he had an outstanding run when he was the defensive coordinator at Yale, was there for a national championship, multiple Ivy Leagues, and he's come over and he's trying to put his stamp on. And Travis, you even look at some of these freshmen that came into this program. Most of these aren't even his guys. I mean, these are mostly kids that he's inherited, that he's trying to get acclimated to his system. So the fact that they've had these growing pains this year, and we talked about some of the near misses that they've had this season in some of these games. I mean, it's pretty impressive what he's been able to do in such a short time, in such a crazy tenure, with everything that's been going on in the last 13 months in this world.
Yeah, you got the feeling coming into this game and throughout this year, it was only a matter of time where they would get a game where they'd put it together. Well, so far here in this first half, it seems like they've put it together. Now the question is, can you do it for 60 minutes? Because that's been the difference. Against Delaware a couple of times, they've had leads in the first half, tied at halftime, had a lead against Towson in the fourth quarter. Let's see if they can put it together for the full 60, as they have a chance to essentially hold it for one here at the end of the first half.
Yeah, and you got to remember that this Fairfield team, they've gotten outscored in the third quarter 49-28, and they're outshot in the third quarter 147-83. That's really what's killed them this season. So them building up this big lead before half is pretty important for them. And don't forget, they had a goal that was disallowed, or a no goal essentially. So they really should be up 5 goals right now.
You're right. I almost forgot about that. Earlier in the first half, Dylan Beckwith had one that seemed to go across the line pretty clearly, but was not called a goal. As with 30 seconds to go, it's Kyle Borda who's got a pair today as a short stick matchup in the corner. Gets the screen from Beckwith behind. Now they'll get it to Beckwith. 12 seconds to go in the half. Moran, tough shot. 5 seconds of the shot clock, 6.8 in the half. Beckwith, got to go in a hurry. Backhand flip is wide. That'll do it for the shot clock, and we only got a second to go here for Hofstra before halftime. Hofstra sends it the length, and that will do it for an emphatic first 30 minutes for the Stags. Came into this game without a CAA win this year. Well, they're 30 minutes away from one in what is almost a must-win situation for Hofstra to keep their postseason hopes alive. The Stags coming in here to Long Island and looking really good through 30 minutes. Travis Ford's got 3. Dylan Beckwith with 6 points. The Stags up by 4 at the break. We'll be back for the third quarter in a bit, but for now, we send you back inside the LSN studios for halftime. Well, I hope you had a chance to catch your breath, because we are in store for quite the entertaining second 30 minutes. A 10-6 Fairfield lead here as we get ready to start the third quarter in our CAA Game of the Week, second game of our doubleheader. Travis Eldridge, Brendan McDaniels back with you. This is a game Hofstra needs to win if they want to try to find their way into Thursday's semifinals. They started off pretty well here, Brendan, as they had things going back and forth in the early part of this game.
Yeah, they're really cooking in the early on. James Philbin with the goal. Then here's Ryan Tierney, the Whipsnake's draft choice, with a beautiful back feed to Bryce Tolmie. But Fairfield scored 5 of the last 6 of the first half.
Yeah, it was all Stags down the stretch of that second quarter. They just had things clicking. They were moving fast. They were getting balls going in the unsettled. They were winning ground balls. Dylan Beckwith leading the way with 6 points in that first half. A couple of goals and 4 assists. Here's one of the helpers, this time finding Shane Osborne for his only goal of that first half. In all, it added up to 10 goals for Fairfield in the first 30 minutes. Their most goals in a half so far this season. They scored 4 unanswered in the final 6 minutes of that first half. And we go back to the face-off X here to start, where Brian Herber wins it forward. Herber going straight in. His shot is wide, but Linsky there for the rebound.
Yeah, he got his stick checked on the trail. But there's about a 4-minute stretch at the end of the first half from about the 6.5-minute mark to the 2.5-minute mark where the Stags went on a 5-1 run and really controlled the tempo. They forced the issue and really had Hofstra on their heels to go ahead and take this 10-6 lead.
So let's see what the Pride do to answer, because you know the message was pretty easy for Seth Tierney in the locker room. You guys got 30 minutes, and you got to find a way to win. And this will help. Sterling Ardrey, he was the star last week with a hat trick. Here he scores the first goal of the third.
As Sterling Ardrey gets it started off for Hofstra. Check out this dodge on the right side. Just blows by his defender. I mean, that's just a track meet right there that he won and got the goal.
It's a U.S. Lacrosse High School All-American coming out of Charlotte, North Carolina. Had 8 points a year ago, only had 2 goals coming into last week's game against Drexel, scores 3. Now he's got 4 goals in his last 2. As Herber wins another face-off. And they're gonna get Frankie Labetti on a trip there. Or they actually get him for a violation, so that's number 1 on Frankie Labetti here in the second half.
Yeah, they ended up giving up 2 man-ups on the face-off. 5 violations in total in the first half, so that's number 6 for the game.
Yeah, something to keep in mind. It resets here at halftime, so they've got 2 more before the next penalty. Here's Ardrey again. Now Ryan Tierney continues to battle against Tyler Burns. Right hand, this one sent wide. Burns, a terrific athlete. Guy who was a 2-sport standout at St. Lawrence at the Division III level throughout his college career before transferring here as a grad student to Fairfield this season. Ardrey just took his eyes off of it. Hit him right in the helmet.
Yeah, just an unforced error right there. And I mean, Hofstra really came out attacking in these first minute and a half. Had a couple good looks already.
Jump shot stopped by Casey. That was Beckwith, who is feeling it after that first 30 minutes. The Long Island native getting a chance to come home for his final collegiate game, and 6 points in the first half, certainly leaving his mark.
Yeah, absolutely is. And Casey struggled through that last 4 minutes of the first half. He did have 7 saves in the first half, but he got peppered pretty good in that stretch by Fairfield where they took the lead.
This is Borda, who had a pair in the first half. Swims back, left hand free, and he stinks the corner. First career hat trick for Kyle Borda.
And Fairfield not slowing down at halftime. Borda, he has the short stick matchup, little swim move right there, brings it into his left. The slide does not come over in time, which gives Borda the lane to shoot, and he makes him pay. This is just a great effort, and it's smart because he realizes he's got the advantage right there playing against the shorty. And you see Casey, he's looking at his defense going, guys, he's got a shorty on him. Let's help us out a little bit.
Kyle Borda had 3 career goals coming into tonight. The junior out of Kensington, Maryland, who went to Gonzaga. He's got 3 in the first 3 quarters.
He's not done yet. He's playing a great game tonight. He's been one on this offense that has really, really been aggressive, and you saw it right there. He's not done for tonight.
What a start here for Fairfield. Continues into the third, but Herber wins the faceoff. That is going to need to be a difference maker for Hofstra here, because we've seen what the Stags have done. When they've gotten opportunities offensively, they're making the most of them.
Yeah, Herbert had a little bit of struggle in the first half, and Patterson came in. And Patterson actually went 3 for 5 in the faceoff in the first half. Herbert came in late in the first half and kind of stopped the bleeding a little bit at the end, the last 2.5 minutes.
Ardrey on the run again, now sends it back across to Philbin. Near side, bounce shot, stopped by Consoli. The freshman with 8 saves already.
And you saw the Fairfield defense once again when Philbin tried to take that shot. They had about 4 guys closing in on him in the middle.
Stags quickly the other way. Blake, you may miss another Fairfield goal. That is the type of pace they've been playing at tonight. Beckwith sends it in the middle. Casey squeezes it and keeps it out.
Number 20, Travis Ford, the save by Bobby Casey.
Denenza took a shot.
Yeah, let's see it again. Denenza. Oh, he collided.
It was an inadvertent collision with Charlie Curran.
Yeah. Yeah, might have just got the wind knocked out of him right there.
Logan Denenza, the older brother of Duke freshman midfielder Aiden Denenza, playing on the top-ranked Blue Devils. Long Island family, and he comes off, and Hofstra gets a possession. Got to get it across midfield. 7 seconds to do so. Nice pass by Casey to squeeze it between a couple of defenders.
Yeah, nice and patient, because Fairfield came out and put some pressure on the ride right there. This is an opportunity for Hofstra. They need to settle down, get in their 6-on-6, move the ball around, get everybody a touch on this possession, and really try to work that Fairfield defense.
Ryan Tierney once again has been relatively quiet, just 1 assist so far. Tyler Burns and this Fairfield defense has done a great job against him.
Yeah, and every shot that Tierney has had, he's had to work for, and he's gotten double or triple teamed on it.
This is Lutfey swinging around. Gets his hands free in the middle, shot off the pipe. That should reset the shot clock. It does.
Great close defense right there by Fairfield. As you saw, a sweep across the defense, they immediately stepped up and swarmed him. Anytime the ball gets in the middle, Fairfield is there with a host of defenders.
Sheridan had a clear step down, but Consoli stops it. However, Fairfield puts it back in their own net. That is a killer.
Yeah, that is something that you just cannot afford. You see the shot, makes the save, and his defender's trying to dump the ball in the crease and just lets it roll in for the Pride.
That is a tough break for Fairfield.
Yeah,
break that Hofstra will certainly take. They're not going to apologize, but that is a tough break for Fairfield.
How many times in a game do you see a team have a goal called a no goal and then score on themselves in the same game?
And still lead by 3.
And still lead by 3.
Make it 2. Michael Altman, the long ball, with his 3rd goal of the year.
15 seconds apart, back-to-back goals for Hofstra. They pulled it within 2. They scored 3 of the 4 of this quarter. And Michael Altman, the long pull. Look at the stretch on this one. Dylan Smith and Brian Herbert. Herbert gets it. Flips it up to Tierney. Tierney dumps to Altman for the goal.
2nd assist of the day for Ryan Tierney. He's now up to 19 helpers on the year. Altman is a really dynamic long pole. Now 7 points on the season to go along with 33 ground balls and 13 caused turnovers coming into today. Another violation on Fairfield. Next one means penalties. And so that is got to be in the back of the Stags' minds on every face-off.
Yeah, this is the one part of Fairfield's game that they've really struggled on this evening. They started off pretty good on the faceoffs with so many violations now. That's 7 in the game.
However, Fairfield gets a gift here as Hofstra turns it over in midfield. Unforced error for the Pride.
Yeah, Beckwith wanted to move. He kept saying to the refs, he's like, let's go, let's go, let's go.
Hurry up, let's keep it moving.
Yeah, they want to keep running and gunning.
Stroud! That's why. They are feeling it offensively tonight. Taylor Stroud.
This is how Fairfield was hoping they would come out tonight. Beckwith, once again, Stroud has the space, finds the opening, scores the goal.
You don't think Fairfield wants to go out with a win here in 2021? Chance for the seniors to go out with a victory, a chance for this young team to build on it, get that first CAA win under Andrew Baxter out of the way here in 2021. What a momentum booster it could be as you head into the fall. That is what is on the line here for Fairfield tonight, and they are flying around offensively.
Yeah, they are, and we asked Coach Baxter how he kept the team motivated. He said, listen, we've only been practicing for about an hour this week, just getting the guys up and down, having fun in practice, being loose. And he told them today, go out, be loose. You know, they've got all the pressure on them. They're trying to get a tournament berth. You know, we're just playing for a win. Like if we lose, everybody's expecting us to lose, but there's the pressure on Hofstra. Make them feel the pressure a little bit.
Flag down on the Pride in Fairfield. Delayed penalty and opportunity here. Lancaster streaking through, saved by Casey. Bobby Casey with his 10th save of the day, but it will be another man down for Hofstra.
Another opportunity for Fairfield to capitalize and put a little pad into that lead. It's going off the field is Denenza.
Got a 30-second push on Hofstra. Here's a look at it. It's coming up right there.
Yep, right there.
You get Ryan Tierney on the push.
Yeah, it's a couple penalties now on Tierney.
They actually got Forte. I think the penalty might have been on Tierney, but
I definitely think the penalty was on Tierney, but Forte might have done it first.
True, you're right. Brian Rita with it. Another man-up opportunity here for the Stags. They're 2 of 3 on the day. Beckwith. Steps into one. Dylan Beckwith, have yourself a day. 3 goals for this grad student out of Wantagh, New York.
Don't tell Dylan Beckwith there's nothing to play for tonight. Gets it up top, has a lane to shoot, and buries it. What a play by Dylan Beckwith. Another angle. Slide slow to come over. Casey never even saw that ball.
The Long Island kid, one of the best scorers in Fairfield history, has more than 100 career goals and more than 100 career assists, adding to both of those totals, as he's now 4th all-time in Fairfield, ties for 4th all-time in Fairfield history in goals. Already 4th all-time in points coming into today. He's added 7 points to his total. Now up over 50 on the season.
Yeah, he's got 7 points today. He had 8 last week. He's just about ready to match that 8-point effort from last week. Take that it was his 8th. He's got 3 goals and 5 assists now. So
sorry,
yeah,
I missed one of his assists.
I did too.
He has so many of them.
It's hard to keep. You're right. He's had so many. It's hard to keep track.
Big possession for Hofstra here. Back down by 4. Tierney, left hand.
And that one, Tierney didn't really have a lot of room to shoot on that one. He just kind of took a step back and still had the defender in his face and never really had a good look at the goal. Fairfield's been doing an outstanding job defensively on Ryan Tierney.
Great defensive play there at X. It was the short stick. Cole Barnard And here come the Stags again in transition. Stroud splits 2. He thought about that.
He wanted that, absolutely.
Ford, left hand, and this one's wide.
Yeah, you see this Fairfield offense. They just want to attack every single time they have the ball.
Just past the midway point of this third quarter. Hofstra had gotten this game back within 2 at 11 and 9, but then back-to-back Fairfield goals to go back up by 4. Falling down, a stop by Casey. Casey now up to 11 saves.
This is where Hofstra needs to get into the offensive end. They need to slow it down, get into 6-on-6, give everybody a touch.
Kale gets rid of it. Now back at X to Linsky. Who on this Hofstra team can help not take over offensively, but provide a spark? Tierney with just a couple of assists so far. Tierney high step and feeds across. Mcintosh stopped by Consoli. Colin Consoli is just everywhere in front. Brick wall.
Yeah, this is where Fairfield has traditionally struggled in the third quarter. You mentioned it in the last quarter. They've been outscored by 19 goals in the third quarter alone. They've been outshot by 64 shots in the third quarter, but not tonight. They've been doing a really good job defensively of not giving Hofstra too many good looks. And you see there's another opportunity right there. The penalties are going to come, but you see they're not letting Ryan Tierney get anything offensively.
Tierney took a shot up high.
Yeah, they're making Tierney work for everything that he has. You see, look how tough that defense is. Here's there's the check at the end. But defensively, they've been doing everything that you need to do. Tyler Burns had great position right there until the slide came over in the cross check.
Brendan Dreyer called for the penalty. Excuse me, they actually got Burns. It was Dreyer who delivered that cross check up high.
Yeah, that was not at all Burns. Burns' defense was really good on that.
Yeah, and so they get Burns for it, and it's an unreleasable. So this is a minute-long penalty that will be full-time served. So Hofstra can get multiple goals here on this extra man.
Yeah, taking Tyler Burns off of this defense is a hard one for Fairfield.
Lutfey at the top of the box. Tierney on that far side. Now Linsky at X. Linsky walks in. Linsky scores. Hofstra cuts it to 3.
Yeah, that one was just too easy for Justin Linsky. And an important goal for Hofstra. You see, he comes right behind. Look, nobody's playing him. He's got so much room to operate. They're so worried about the pass that nobody comes and takes the ball. And that's a situation where Tyler Burns, being in the game, he would come out and take the ball in that instance. But right there, everybody's waiting for somebody else to slide. And you look at the defense, they're all looking at each other, wondering who's supposed to slide right there. And that's why that penalty being called incorrectly on Tyler Burns comes back and hurts Fairfield.
So I got to correct myself. 2-minute unreleasable penalty. Not 1 minute, 2 minutes. So there's still a minute 40 plus on the man up for Hofstra. However, Fairfield's Dylan Smith wins a face-off and then throws it out of bounds. So while it's a face-off win for Fairfield, it'll be a possession for Hofstra. And the extra man continues. Unreleasable 2-minute penalty. They've already got 1 goal on the man up. See what they can do as the penalty continues. Lutfey, Tierney. Now Forte here on the near side along with Tolmie. They've got Philbin flashing in the middle and Linsky now at X. Tierney, long range off of Consoli. It'll stay here with the Pride on the backup.
Nice possession so far by Hofstra. They've been keeping the ball hot, making that Fairfield defense move. Tierney had a good look, just was not able to convert.
Just over a minute left on the man up still. Tierney fakes and feeds. Could be a gigantic momentum swing, but Consoli comes out of the crease and steals it.
Smart play by the freshman. He saw an opportunity to snipe that ball, and he did it.
Tell you what, this kid has been really special as a freshman. Dean Ford draws a penalty.
Yeah, Consoli, he's been impressive. Like, his numbers don't look great overall, but he's a really good goalie. I mean, he's faced a lot of shots tonight, and he's been up to the challenge. I mean, this is a good Hofstra offense.
Yeah, I mean, and you look at some of the games that Fairfield has played. They've been track meets where he's been asked to do a lot. Some of the games they've gotten down by a bunch, so he's seen more shots than maybe another goalie may see. But so far today, 11 saves, 52%. Free possession here as we're back to even strength. And Fairfield's about to go man up. Big collision. Stags get the ground ball. Ford. Trying to roll back for that right hand. It's a run for Stroud. Moran skips it inside. And shot clock finishes before Curran could get the shot off, but we're gonna have another man up for Fairfield.
Yeah, just a nice scenario for Fairfield. They were able to get rid of the man down, and now they'll go on the man up. Let's take a look at the penalty. So we got a 1-minute slash.
They get Bryce Tolmie, send him to the box. Under 3 minutes to go in what has been an eventful third quarter so far. 7 combined goals. Fairfield leads by 3. Stroud, saved by Casey.
Yeah, a bit of a quick shot on the man up. But Bobby Casey there to make the save.
Now, if you're Hofstra, you want to clear, and you also want to try to take some time off the clock. Lofting pass ahead. Nice move there by Forte. Spins out of trouble once. Loses it there on the far sideline. Finally picked up by Fairfield, and here comes Stroud.
Yeah, Hofstra caught themselves in a tough position there right at the midfield. They just couldn't get themselves out of it.
Woodsjaw off the post.
That was a rocket right off the pipe.
And this will go back to Hofstra. The Pride get the backup.
So Fairfield under 2 minutes to go, and they're about to survive this third quarter, where it's normally been disaster for them.
We're back to even strength. As Hofstra figures out the substitutions here. Minute 30 to go in this third quarter. The Pride in need of a win, trying to keep their CAA tournament hopes alive. Remember, Hofstra hosts the CAA tournament next week no matter what. They would really like to be able to play here at Schuart Stadium. Philbin down low, Mcintosh back within 2. Mcintosh with his first of the day.
A really nice offensive set by Hofstra, and Mcintosh able to finish it. Here's Philbin off the pick, gets a little bit of space. Mcintosh gets away from his defender, just does a little spin inside. You see Mcintosh right there, just slips his defender. His defender comes up to double team. Nobody slides over. And Hofstra pulls within 2 here with 1:08 left. And if they can get a possession here, they could pull it within 1 potentially going into the fourth quarter.
Remember, already 2 face-off violations in this half on Fairfield, so they got to continue to be careful with that. Dylan Smith and Brian Herber battle. Ball loose on that far side. Herber trying to pick it up. Instead, it's Altman for Hofstra. Guy is a ground ball machine. Altman to Kale. Looking for that extra pass. Instead, it's deflected out of his stick. But Forte, right place, right time. 45 seconds to go in the quarter. Sheridan stepping down, Linsky just high.
Linsky had an opportunity there. He was wide open. See him slap his hands. He knew he had a golden opportunity right there.
But Tierney there for the backup, so still Hofstra possession. They can hold for one here at the end of the third quarter. Tierney. Lutfey dodges and sends it behind to Linsky. Now back out to Tierney. Right hand feed to Mcintosh. Third assist of the day for Tierney, and the Pride are back within one.
This has been a great last minute for Hofstra. See Tierney working on the wing, gets his hands free, sees Mcintosh, cross crease pass. Mcintosh, just like he did moments ago, slips his defender. Watch Mcintosh, 21, be at the bottom of your screen, slips his defender, nobody slides over on him. And Mcintosh, back-to-back goals in about 50 seconds. And just like that, Hofstra is within one.
Back-to-back goals for Mcintosh. This is the form we saw from him when he was an all-rookie performer a couple of years ago. Herber wins the face-off forward. Linsky looking for Tierney, backside. We're all tied up at 13.
What a last minute for Hofstra. They were down by 3, now they've tied it up. Ryan Tierney puts it home.
It can happen that quick.
In transition, Linsky, cross crease pass. How many cross crease passes have we seen by Hofstra in this quarter? A wide open opportunity. Just a quick step back by Ryan Tierney, and we're tied up at 13.
Ryan Tierney, that one has to feel really good. His first goal now in his last 2 games, as he was shut out by Drexel last week. He was shut out here in the first half. Smith tries to win it forward. 6 seconds left. Procedure call on Fairfield gives it back to Hofstra with 5 seconds to go. Hofstra with 3 goals here real quick, nearly put another one home. 3 goals in the last minute and 8 seconds of this third quarter. And that is how this quarter will end. It looked like Fairfield had a chance to maybe pull away in this game. They had a 4-goal lead in the third quarter, but Ryan Tierney and company saying, not in our house. Philbin to Mcintosh, and then Mcintosh from Tierney. We're all tied up at 13 apiece. Good final 15 coming up for you on LSN. Are you not entertained? Hofstra scores 3 goals in the final minute and 8 seconds of the third quarter, and we are tied at 13 apiece as we start the fourth. Travis Eldridge, Brendan McDaniels back with you as we got a violation on Hofstra to start the fourth. So Fairfield will start with the possession now in a tie game. Charlie Curran working with it against Logan Denenza. Let's see how this Fairfield team responds. They were flying around offensively. At times built up a 4-goal lead in that third quarter. But now all of a sudden a tie game. How do they bounce back here? This is Stroud. Travis Ford trying to find Moran, he does. Pass for Curran is a little off, and it's a turnover for Fairfield.
This opportunity now for Fairfield. They slumped in that third quarter at the very end. Now they got to come make it up, and this is going to start with them defensively. They got to stand up here defensively.
We've seen their freshman goalie, Colin Consoli, almost stand on his head at times. 11 saves so far. as Hofstra gets it across with a couple of seconds to spare. And Riley Forte will look to get the Pride back in the lead. Hofstra has not led in this game since they led 4-3. Ryan Tierney finally getting his first goal of the day right there before the end of the third. Looking for the skip pass down to Mcintosh, a little too much, and it's a turnover.
Yeah, this is where every possession is going to start to matter. You've got a tied up game. You've had Hofstra make this nice comeback here after Fairfield had a great run in the second quarter. Hofstra made their run. Now who's going to make their run in the fourth quarter here?
Shane Osborne streaking in. This has been the question for Fairfield head coach Andrew Baxter in his second year. Can we put together a full 60 minutes? They've shown a lot of flashes at times this year of the team that they could be, but they have not been able to find a win in CAA play. Osborne shot stopped by Casey.
Yeah, not a really good look there by Osborne. An easy save by Casey. This is really where you got to come and you got to be a little bit more patient in the fourth quarter. If you're Fairfield, you want to keep the tempo moving, but you also want to make sure that you get a quality shot.
Philbin had a nice run in that third quarter with a couple of assists. He's been a good distributor out of the midfield here for Hofstra. Been able to beat his man and create some opportunities for the offense. This is Forte on the wing. Bryce Tolmie, still 32 seconds of the shot clock. Gets the left hand free, and Consoli saw it the whole way.
Yeah, great job by Consoli. He had that ball on a beat
Stolen
the whole
away,
time.
They turned it over in front, and Hofstra has a lead. Dylan Mcintosh, right place, right time. He's got a hat trick.
What a smart play by Mcintosh right there. Consoli makes a beautiful save. And what does he do? He just keeps his stick up, and Consoli throws the ball basically right to him. Look at this right here.
This is just a good effort play by Hofstra.
Yeah, just very, very smart. You stay on the play. You don't give up. Mcintosh didn't put pressure, was just right there, just was patient, and then read the eyes of Consoli and made the play. That was a huge mistake by the freshman goaltender. And a penalty now on the face-off violation. We've seen a lot of these today by Fairfield.
Yeah, once again, in past 3 face-off violations here in the second half. We saw 5 of them in the first half. So that's a 30-second man up for Hofstra coming.
This is not what you want if you're Fairfield.
No. Mcintosh, by the way, came in today with only 1 goal in the year. He's got 3 of them today. This is the type of breakout game they've needed from him.
They've got 3 of the last 4 from Mcintosh. Remember, he scored 2 of the last 3 at the end of the third quarter when they went on that run to tie the game up.
Tierney skips it across. Step down shot, and Consoli up to the challenge. But they're going to get George Elmquist on a push. Yep.
Just so many unforced errors right now by Fairfield. They played such a smart game for 2.5 quarters, and now they're coming unglued a little bit. They've got to regroup themselves.
Yeah, that one's an absolute killer. Tierney down to Tolmie on the doorstep. Rebounds loose. And we got Tolmie in the crease.
That's where you need to get a good clear by Fairfield. Looks like Hofstra's going to play back a little bit. It's going to allow them some space to move the ball up the field. So for Fairfield, you want to continue to be aggressive, but you want to play smart here.
Yeah, there's 2 ways to think about it. You can't play tight here because it wasn't playing tight how you got here. We got a flag down on the far side. I don't know what it's for, but man up coming here for Fairfield.
The Fairfield bench was pointing at something. I wonder if this is an offside call.
Moran free possession for the Stags. Dive, save by Casey.
Huge save by Casey. It'd be a crease violation. Well, check the penalty because Fairfield bench was all pointing at something at the midfield.
There is athleticism on display for both sides here. Wow.
Just laying your body out. So Fairfield will go on the man up. This is a crucial moment for Fairfield. You're on the man up. You're down by 1. You've had some success on the man up already tonight. This is where you want to see Beckwith take control.
And instead, it's Brian Rita ties it up at 14.
Well, of course, what you actually want to do is have Brian Rita be the one that takes it from behind X when you haven't heard anything from him all night long. Take a look at this again. They bring it down. Rita at X. Nobody's on him. Nobody comes out on him. So you know what? He's just going to go shoot and score. Look at that.
Good answer by the Stags. By the way, it wasn't offsides on Riley Forte that led to the 32nd man up. The Stags cash in.
Yeah, I was wondering if it was an offside because the entire Fairfield bench was all pointing at the midfield when that flag got popped up. They were really politicking for that one.
Herber wins the faceoff there. That was actually the long pole Braden Lynch who was taking the draw for Fairfield. So at that point, the Stags just want to make sure they don't go early. At that point, you're almost just playing a defensive position, trying to make it a ground ball and see if you can scoop it up that way.
Yeah, Lynch has not taken a faceoff so far this year. Jake Timon has taken 7, and Ryan Hamburger has taken 9. So yeah, at this point, don't get a violation. Don't go down on the man down. You can't afford it.
So Hofstra has the ball, under 10 minutes to go. Lutfey. Linsky. Excuse me, that's Sheridan, number 55. Now he gets it to Linsky behind. Linsky trying to go near side. He's got Tierney open. Tierney, step down. He strikes. The second of the day for Ryan Tierney, and the Pride are back on top.
You can only contain him for so long until Ryan Tierney's going to open up and put his stamp on a game, and he's doing it right here. Coming out, Linsky gets bumped off of his route, but right there, Tierney, because his defender went down, Burns went to go double team Linsky, and then Tierney was left wide open on that wing, and then he gets the goal.
And that's where, for just a split second, you get the feeling that Tyler Burns forgot he was guarding Ryan Tierney and not anybody else in the CAA. Because for most guys, you slide off of him. For Ryan Tierney, you probably don't want to slide off of him in that situation.
No, and if you are, there's got to be a second slide that comes and rotates over to get on Tierney, because you cannot leave Ryan Tierney by himself.
Quickly, Hofstra again. A face-off win to Dylan Mcintosh, and he's got 4.
Dylan Mcintosh has had himself a half here for the Hofstra Pride, and they have now taken a 16-14 advantage off the faceoff, and we've seen them do this a couple times already. Herbert gets it started off, and then it ends up in the hands of Dylan Mcintosh, and Mcintosh, what a great finisher he's been tonight for the Pride. They got the assist on that one by Altman.
Yeah, Michael Altman, the long pole, with 2 points today. He's got a goal and an assist so far. As they go back to Dylan Smith now at the face-off X, and he wins it forward for Fairfield. Much needed possession for the Stags. This is Charlie Curran. Feeds, long pole chance, saved by Casey, rebound. And it's picked up by Ford.
Ford, if he had got that cleanly, he was on the doorstep for a goal. Just couldn't get it cleanly.
15 saves by Bobby Casey today. Long run on the dodge, another stop by Casey.
Great possession by Bobby Casey right there. Stood tall for the Hofstra defense.
Going out of bounds there was Dalton Seas, had to just send it forward. And guess who it is? Mcintosh with the ground ball, but he's de-twigged.
Yeah, yard sale right there. We're gonna get a push on Hofstra, so it'll remain Fairfield ball. But Dylan Mcintosh, he's been everywhere on this field so far in the second half.
Yeah, what a breath of fresh air that has to be for for Coach Seth Tierney and company offensively. As Fairfield takes a timeout with under 8 minutes to go. We will step aside, but you do not want to go anywhere. Frenetic pace continuing here into the fourth. Hofstra in need of a win with a 2-goal lead with 7:58 to go. Back here on Long Island, take a look at the couple of guys here in the front. You got Seth Tierney, coach of Hofstra, and Brian Volker, the coach of Drexel, former teammates at Hopkins. Well, Seth Tierney is the biggest fan of Brian Volker and Drexel here this weekend, because if Hofstra can hold on here and win tonight, they would get to 4-4. If Drexel beats Towson tomorrow, Towson drops to 3-5, and everything's decided. Hofstra's in, along with UMass, and those are your 4 teams, along with Drexel and Delaware in the CAA tournament coming up on Thursday. Things get a lot more complicated depending on if Hofstra can win here, and if Towson would beat Drexel, we could end up with 3 teams at 4-4. We could end up with Towson and Hofstra each at 3-5. A lot of different scenarios. Easiest thing for Hofstra, win tonight, get Drexel to win tomorrow, and you're in.
Yeah, how about that? 2 former teammates from Johns Hopkins, both one needing the other to help them out. And I'm sure if Hofstra wins tonight, I'm sure the phone call or text is going to come to Coach Volker and say, hey, you owe me one for something we did back 30 years ago.
By the way, there's also a tie with Sean Nadelin and Towson because Coach Seth Tierney was an assistant when Nadelin was still at Hopkins as a player. So there's a lot of ties in the conference, but coach and coach, the teammate thing, I think, tops all in this situation.
Yeah.
Lutfey feeds down to Philbin. Another one for the Pride. They're up 3.
This has been quite the run for Hofstra here. Hofstra scored 8 of the last 9 goals in this game. You see, backside, Philbin even checks his footwork to make sure that he didn't go into the crease. It's a nice play. The slide doesn't come over. Philbin's wide open on the backside. How many times have we said the backside wide open, slide doesn't come over, easy goal?
James Philbin with his second of the day, also has a couple of assists. And the Pride have their largest lead today at 17-14. Dylan Smith, though, wins a faceoff for Fairfield. Gets it ahead to Braden Lynch. Stags need offense. We've seen it today. They've showed it throughout the first 3.5 quarters. They need more.
Yeah, so Fairfield led 13-9, excuse me, with 8.5 to go. And Hofstra scored 8 of the last 9 to take the lead. There you see that run, 8-1 run by Hofstra. And for Fairfield, you want to keep the foot on the accelerator, but you want to play smart and get good looks. That was a good look. They backed it up. Now they'll have an opportunity again.
Listava got the hands free there. Now Beckwith to take it for Max. Beckwith with 8 points today, 3 goals and 5 assists. His feed is intercepted, ends up at the stick of Altman, but we got a whistle and it's coming back.
Yeah, I didn't see what happened on the back end. I don't know if there was a push that we missed on the backside, but a break for Fairfield. Now they've got to capitalize on this. There's still a lot of time left, but you've got to come up with something offensively.
I mean, we've seen their ability to score quickly. We've seen both teams' ability to score quickly in this game. They just got to get one back here. This is Kyle Borda. He's got a hat trick today. Stroud stepped out off the pipe. Rebound, and we got a crease violation on Fairfield.
There's another. That was a good-looking shot, but it was a great save by Bobby Casey. And now Fairfield has gone 18 minutes with only 1 goal on the board.
Casey, of all of a sudden, now up to 17 saves tonight. Really playing well. Forte will settle things down.
Let's go, boys!
5:18 to go. Hofstra trying to keep those CAA tournament hopes alive. They want to be back here next Thursday, CAA semifinals Thursday night.
Let's go, Red!
Ryan Tierney, who has finally broken through to get a couple against Tyler Burns, who has done a really good job on him all day. Tierney rolls, scores! Ryan Tierney, a hat trick.
Hofstra played Ryan Tierney so well for so long, but that goal right there is 100% effort by Ryan Tierney. Look at the smirk on his face. He knows right here, look, you got a little bit of a switch, you got some space, he gets the bump on Burns. Burns kind of bounces off him, which allows Tierney to get his hands free. And he buries the shot. Look at this alley he has to shoot. And he sends it right over the shoulder of the freshman Consoli. And that's what, when you wonder why a team like the Whipsnakes is going to take a chance on a guy from Hofstra, right there. There is no defending that shot right there. I don't care how good of a defender you are, and Burns is a great defender. You just can't stop that.
Ryan Tierney with that goal pulls into a tie with Curtis Dixon for the CAA goals record at 162 career goals. As loose ball in front, Altman picks it up, the long pole who's been everywhere, and Hofstra will take a timeout. Keep possession here, up by 4 with 4:26 to go. Brendan, this game did not look good for the Pride like maybe 15 minutes ago in real time, but what a difference things can make. Ryan Tierney gets going. He was being shut out in that first half. He gets going, and things have just kind of flooded with it.
Yeah, we talked about how good of a job the defense for Fairfield was doing on Ryan Tierney. They were face guarding him for a while. Then they stopped face guarding him, but what they're doing is they're sending double and triple teams on him every single time, and they got away from that here in the fourth quarter, especially when Mcintosh started scoring. Then they realized, uh-oh, there's another goal scorer out there that we've got to worry about. So they stopped double teaming Ryan Tierney, and that's what gave Tierney these openings here. And that's the thing at the end of the day. It doesn't matter when you score the goals. You got to get those goals in, and Ryan Tierney is scoring in crunch time when it matters. And as we saw in that last goal, that was all him on that one. He did a couple moves, he did a couple spins, he was able to bounce off Burns and get an open shot for the goal. And here you go. Here's Herber to Altman, inside to Linsky to Tierney. And it's just a beautiful goal right there. Let's take another one. Here's Linsky, draws the double team. Burns comes down, leaves Tierney wide open. That is an absolute no-no. You've got to have someone on Ryan Tierney at all times. They leave him wide open, and this is the last goal they just scored. He gets the bump right here off of Burns, spins, wide open lane to shoot. Those are his 3 goals so far. What a night for Ryan. Actually, what a half for Ryan Tierney.
All 3 goals have come since there were 12 seconds left in the third quarter. That's when he got his first that tied it at 13. And the rest of the goals have come since. Ryan Tierney named to Towards-On Award nominee is one of the top 25 players in the country, is showing you why here in the last 10-15 minutes of game time.
And that's a huge recognition for a guy from Hofstra, because normally the people are focusing on the guys from Duke, Virginia, Syracuse, Denver. You know, for Hofstra to get that recognition and for Ryan Tierney to be respected nationally like that is absolutely huge.
Here is Tierney on the wing. By the way, cannot wait to see him have a chance, hopefully make a make the lineup for the Whip Snakes, as this one's fed in front, picked up, and there's a crease violation. Because you think about Ryan Tierney here at Hofstra, he has been the #1 target on the scouting report every week, especially the last couple of seasons. And so you now put him, and he's getting the 3rd, 4th, 5th defender in terms of options on that Whip Snakes offense. That is when Ryan Tierney is going to show everybody just how talented he is, because then then people are going to go, well, what are we supposed to do? That's why that's what makes him such a good draft pick.
It makes him a great draft pick, and it makes him have the ability to have an instant impact for the Whip Snakes, because you think about it, Josh Byrne came out. Look at the success Josh Byrne has had with the Chaos and also in the National Lacrosse League with the Buffalo Bandits. Jack Cannon, Steve DiNapoli, Brendan Kavanaugh, even Flint Sullivan, the defender, Kevin Unterstein, who's had a magnificent career in the MLL and the PLL now.
Yep.
I mean, these are all Hofstra guys that have had instant success. Cannon had instant success in the pros. Josh Byrne has had instant success. These are recent graduates of Hofstra, and the exact same thing. They're not #1 on the scouting report, so they're going to get that 3rd, 4th, maybe 5th defender. And these guys are so stinking talented. And the second that you ease up on them a little bit, that's when they go in and they give you the kill shot.
And I think the thing that will help Ryan Tierney in the transition to the pro game is his versatility. He doesn't have to have the ball in his stick. Like, Matt Rambo can take the ball in his stick for the Whip Snakes and do his thing. Tierney is great off ball, but if they need him to handle the ball, he can handle the ball and dodge. He can do a lot of different things, which makes him a versatile piece for any pro team.
Absolutely, and I think that's an underrated piece of Ryan Tierney's game is how good he is off the ball and finding those seams in the defense and getting himself in the right position. And I think that he's going to really pay dividends for the Whip Snakes. And which is amazing is we were talking to Seth Tierney, and there's a time where Ryan Tierney said even if he was drafted, he didn't want to play in the pros, but something changed and he got drafted and he's ready to roll.
Loose ball in front as we're now ticking near a minute to go. It's going to be a valiant effort by Fairfield, but once again, just about, 16 minutes short is the final minute of the 3rd quarter that got him. Allowed Hofstra to pull into a tie at 13 as Linsky runs around with it under a minute to go.
Yeah, I mean, credit Fairfield. They did a nice job tonight. It was 1:08 left in the 3rd quarter. They were up 13-10. Then Hofstra scored 3 goals in 1:08 to tie it up at 13. And then Hofstra really just took over in this 4th quarter. I mean, and you can't play Hofstra wanted it more. No, Fairfield wanted it just as much as Hofstra did. Hofstra just really got some smart bounces and took advantages of the opportunities that they had.
25 seconds to go, 16 on the shot clock, so the Pride can't completely run out the clock. Hofstra now will wait. They're going to get to 4-4 in CAA play, 7-5 overall as there's 8 seconds to go. And now they wait and see what Drexel does against Towson tomorrow in the CAA regular season finale. Borda sends it the length, who had a great game. Kyle Borda, 3 goals for Fairfield, but not enough. What a finish to this game by Hofstra. They finished the game on a 4-goal run. They score 9 of the last 10 goals, and they come from behind for a massive win, 18-14 in their regular season finale.
Yeah, just a great